In this video, I'm going to do a step-by-step beginner tutorial on how to trade futures on the Lbank exchange. If you're still relatively new to Lbank and you'd like to learn about their spot market, I do have an Lbank step-by-step beginner tutorial, and I'll leave a link for that video in the description down below for anyone that might find that helpful. In this video, I'm going to get straight into the futures market. I'll show you how to transfer your tether from your spot account and into your futures account. Then I'll show you the different pairings and get you familiar with the user interface. From there, I'll demonstrate how to go long and short using market orders, limit orders, and how to set up a take profit and stop loss. All of that and more with some tips and tricks along the way. If this is your first time signing up on the Lbank platform, I've left a link for you in the description of this video as well as in the pinned comment down below. If you use my link when signing up, you can receive tether bonuses by simply placing trades on the futures market. As you can see, the more volume you begin to trade with, the more in tether bonuses you can receive. If you happen to be one of the first 50 people to use my link when signing up, you'll also qualify for an additional $10 benefit just by simply placing your first trade on the futures market. You'll also be entered in for your share of an exclusive prize pool. I've also left you some timestamps in the description down below, so at any point feel free to skip ahead to a section that might be most relevant to you. This video is not financial advice and is for educational purposes only. If you end up getting some value out of this, don't forget to leave me a like and hit subscribe. Let's get into the video. If you click my link in the description of this video or in the pinned comment down below, you'll arrive on this page right here, and you can create an account using an email or a phone number. At the time of recording, KYC is not necessary for creating an account. So simply choose an option that makes the most sense for you. Come up with a good password, read through Lbank service agreement, and then click on the login register button. Once you create your account and sign in, don't forget to visit the bonus page. And you can get there by coming right up here, hover over bonus, and then click here on bonus. Here's where you can find additional bonuses. On top of the bonuses you can receive if you use my link when signing up. So you can come down here, you can see the bonuses that are available. And if you want to complete any of these tasks, you just come over here, click on go to complete the task. So if there's anything in here that interests you, be sure to come on over here, complete the task, and earn an additional bonus. Before you can trade on the Lbank futures market, you'll have to transfer tether from your spot account and into your futures account. If you still need to get some tether onto the Lbank platform, you can find your fiat purchasing options right up here. If you hover over buy crypto, you'll get a drop-down menu with your options to purchase some tether using fiat. If you simply want to deposit some onto the platform from another wallet address, just come right over here, hover over wallet, and then click on spot in this drop-down menu. And you'll find a deposit button right over here. Alternatively, you can come down to your wallet addresses and you'll find a deposit button over here on the right hand side. If you need any assistance with this, I cover these topics in more detail in my Lbank step-by-step beginner tutorial, and I'll leave a link for that video in the description down below for anyone that might find that helpful. In this video, I'm going to get straight into trading on the futures market. To transfer tether from your spot account into your futures account, just come right up here and hover over wallet. And from this drop-down menu, click on Futures. And this will bring you over to your futures account. And the first time coming to this account, you'll see a little pop-up window here. You'll have to come down here, read through Lbank's contract service agreement, and if everything checks out with you, check this box here, and then click on Confirm. You'll also notice that Lbank does not support users from Iran, North Korea, Syria, Cuba, Crimea, the United States, China, and their territories to trade with contracts. Some of these countries and regions will likely be able to access the spot market, but at the time of recording, contract trading isn't available for those regions, and this is due to government regulations. So quickly give this contract service agreement a read through, check this right here, and then click on Confirm. To transfer funds from your spot account and into your futures account, just click right here on Transfer Margin. Then you'll get a little pop-up window here with your transfer form. And in my case here, you can see that I'm already set up to transfer from spot into futures. At the time of recording, you can only transfer USDT into your futures account. Perhaps in the future, Lbank will add more options, and to select a different option, you'll likely just need to click right here. But for the time being, it's tether only. So we'll come down here and we'll type in a custom amount of tether we wish to transfer into our futures account, or you can just simply click right here on all to transfer in everything. Once you get this set up the way that you want it, just simply click right here on Confirm. And as you can see, the transfer was successful. Now we can see my tether inside my futures account. Now that we have some tether in our futures account, we're ready to trade derivatives on the futures market. So what we would do is we'd come up here to derivatives and then click on futures in this drop down menu. And this will bring you into the user interface where you can trade derivatives on Lbank. To find the different market types and pairings, you just simply come up here at the top left hand side and hover over these three lines. Then you'll get a drop down menu with all the different available pairings to trade on Lbank. Right up at the top, you can see that at the time of recording, the only market type available is the tether pairings. I'll speculate that in the future, when Lbank adds more market types, you'll likely find them up here next to the tether pairings. Simply click on the pairing that you wish to trade. And I'll go ahead and demonstrate with Ethereum versus Tether. And as you can see, we just changed the pairing to ETH versus USDT. Right here, we have the price action chart showing us the asset's performance over a selected time frame. You can find your time frames right up here at the top left-hand side of the chart, and you can see that I'm currently set to a 15-minute time frame. This means each one of these candlesticks represents 15 minutes of time. If you want to change the time frame, just click on the time frame you wish to view. So if we wanted a daily, we'd click right here. Now we're looking at the price action on a daily chart. Now each one of these candlesticks represents 1 day of time. The first thing I like to do here is I like to come up at the top right hand side and click on Trading View. Now this chart is powered by Trading View, and this will give you access to some drawing tools as well as some basic indicators. You can find the drawing tools if you come over here on the left hand side. You'll see a little yellow arrow. Just give that a click. It'll expand, and here's where you'll find your drawing tools. Next to each drawing tool is a tiny little arrow. If you give that a click, it'll expand into a drop down menu where you can find additional drawing tools. You can build a little tab of your favorite drawing tools by highlighting the star next to the drawing tool that you wish to add. So for example, let's add a trend line. We'll go ahead and add a horizontal line like so. Let's come down here. We'll do a Fibonacci retracement. And let's go ahead and do a brush because I'll be using that later in this tutorial, and we'll add a rectangle. Now we'll close this out. And as you can see, I just built a little tab of some of my favorite drawing tools, and we can drag this anywhere on the chart that we want it. If you'd like to add an indicator to your chart, just come right up here and click on this icon here. Then you'll get a little pop-up window, and here's where you'll find some of the basic indicators from TradingView. If there's something specific that you want to add to the chart, you can search for it in the search bar. So let's just imagine we want a MACD. We could type that in, click on MACD, close this out, and as you can see, I just added a MACD below the price action. If you want to get rid of it, just come over here and click on this X. As you can see, I just removed the MACD. The next thing I like to do is adjust the appearance of my chart. So the first thing I'll do is I'll come down here and grab onto this line here, and I like to pull the volume down just slightly like this. But certainly move that where it looks best for you. The next thing I like to do is adjust the appearance by right-clicking on the chart, coming down here and clicking on Settings. This will give you a little pop-up window where you can adjust some of the basic settings of your chart. What I like to do is get rid of the vertical grid lines as well as the horizontal grid lines, as they're just not really serving any purpose in my trading style. And to do that, we'll make sure we're set to appearance. Then we'll click on this box right here for vertical grid lines, take the opacity down to 0. Then we'll do the horizontal grid lines, do the same thing there. Then I like to switch the background from gradient to solid. Then click on this box here, and I like to use the darkest color possible. And as you can see, I just adjusted the appearance of the chart. But certainly get things looking the way that you like it. What you can do is you can come into the chart settings, you can play around with some of these settings, change the appearance, and if at any point you don't like the way it looks, you can come down here and click on Template, click on Apply Defaults, and then you can restore the chart back to its default settings. So if you make any mistakes, you don't know exactly what you did, you can always restore the defaults and then start fresh again. So I'll go ahead and just get this back the way I like it here. We'll go ahead and get rid of the vertical grid lines. Let's get rid of these horizontals. Move from gradient to solid, and let's go ahead and do this, and we'll click on OK. For charting and technical analysis, I prefer to use TradingView directly. Now let's quickly bring it into frame. On TradingView, you're going to have access to more data, more indicators, different asset classes. You can backtest strategies. There's just way more you can do with TradingView directly. And TradingView is free to use. The free version does have some pop-up advertisements that can be a little bit distracting, but aside from that, it does work perfectly fine. The version I'm using is a paid version, and you can always try a paid version for free for up to 30 days. This way you're unlocking the full potential of TradingView, and you can make an informed decision if TradingView is a good fit for you. So I'm going to leave a link for TradingView in the description down below, as well as in the pinned comment. I also have a step-by-step beginner tutorial on how to set up and use TradingView. So I'll leave a link for that video in the description down below for anyone that might find that helpful. Right next to the chart, you'll find your order book. And this is showing us where market participants have placed their long orders, their short orders, or their take profits. On the top side of the order book in red, we have what's known as the asks. These are the price points that market participants have placed their short orders or their take profits for their long positions. Down below in green, we have what's known as the bids. These are the price points that market participants have placed their long orders or their take profits for their shorts. In the middle of the order book, we have what's known as the mid price, and this is what the asset is currently trading at. So all the asks up above will be greater than the mid price, and all the bids down below will be less than the mid price. And traders are placing the order on the order book by using limit orders. These market participants are referred to as market makers because they're providing liquidity to the order book versus removing liquidity from the order book by using market orders. And because of this, you will save on fees by using limit orders. And I'll be demonstrating limit orders, market orders, and stop losses in this tutorial. When a trader comes along and executes a market order, they're matched up with the best available price from the order book. And the trade is executed immediately. And you can view it right here on this tab under trades. So if we give that a click, here's where we can see all the recent trades being executed. All the buys are coming in green and all the sells are coming in red. In the middle column here under price, we can see the price point that the trade was successfully executed at. And in the amount column, we can see the size of the trade that went through. During volatile market conditions, this panel gets quite active. As you can see, it's quite active right now with this big green candle coming in. When you want to get back to the order book, just click right here on order book. And next to the order book, we have our order panel, where we can go long or short using market orders, limit orders, and we can set up some stop losses. And I'll be demonstrating those order types in this tutorial. And right over here, just above the chart, is where you'll find your funding rate. And you can see at the time of recording that we're currently looking at a positive funding rate of 0.017. This means that anybody holding a long position is paying this funding rate to anybody holding a short position. If you ever see a negative funding rate here, that means that anybody holding a short position is paying the funding rate to anybody that's holding a long position. And you can see a little countdown timer here. So this funding period is going to expire in 3 hours and 55 minutes. So certainly worth paying attention to this. And right over here, just above your order panel, is where you're going to find your leverage and margin mode. And you can currently see that I'm set to cross. If you give this a click, you'll get a little pop-up window and you can toggle between cross and isolated margin mode. And Lbank will give you a brief description on the margin mode. You can see for cross right here, all positions share the margin in the contract account to avoid the position from being liquidated. In the event of a forced liquidation, the trader may lose all the margin and the position. So in other words, Lbank is using your entire account balance as collateral across all of your positions. So if you do get liquidated under cross margin, you will lose your entire account balance. So certainly something to be aware of. Over here, we can click on isolated margin mode, and a lot of traders will opt for this margin mode. You can see right here that a certain amount of margin is assigned to a position. If the position margin is lost below the maintenance margin level, the position will be forced to close. In isolated margin mode, you can add and subtract margin to this position. So in other words, whatever you put into this position is used as collateral. So if you get liquidated using isolated margin mode, you'll only lose what you put into that position versus your entire account balance, unless you put your entire account balance into one position. So simply choose the margin mode that you wish to trade with and then click on confirm. Now, as you can see, I just switched this to isolated margin mode and we can see that just above the order panel. You can adjust the amount of leverage you're using by clicking on one of these right here. So you can see in 20x green, this is 20x leverage for all long positions. You can see 20x in red, that's 20x leverage for all short positions. And in my opinion, 20x leverage is a lot of leverage. Yes, leverage can maximize your gains, but it can also maximize your losses or get you completely liquidated. Typically, traders that use high amounts of leverage have a very optimized trading strategy for that leverage. Most traders will get wiped out faster than a fart in a hurricane that use that amount of leverage. So I would suggest if you're new to trading, trade with very low leverage or no leverage at all. Of course, this is not financial advice. This video is for educational purposes only. What you decide to do is between you and your bank account. But let's go ahead and adjust the leverage on the long side. So we'll click on the green 20x. Then we'll get a pop-up window where we can adjust the amount of leverage. We can use this slider bar right here, or you can just come into this box and type in the amount of leverage you wish to use. Let's go ahead and set this to 2x. Then we'll click on confirm. Now when we come back up to the order panel, we can see up here that we've adjusted our leverage to 2x leverage. Let's go ahead and adjust the short leverage now. We'll give that a click on the red 20x. Then we'll come in here and let's do 2x leverage for short positions as well. Then we'll click on confirm. And as you can see, we just adjusted our leverage down to 2x for both long positions and short positions. I'll explain more about leverage here shortly when I'm demonstrating the order types. First, I'll demonstrate a market order, and these order types are nice and simple. They're going to execute immediately at the best available price from the order book. But because of this, you will pay higher in fees. You're also removing liquidity off of the order book versus adding to the order book by using a limit order. Typically, exchanges like to incentivize traders to provide liquidity to the order book, and usually they'll do this by charging a smaller fee for placing limit orders. And I'll demonstrate limit orders next. The first thing we need to do is come to the order panel and click right here on market. The next thing that I like to do is I like to come down here to the amount box. You'll see right here where it says ETH. I like to give this a click, and I like to set this to USDT. It's just a personal preference. I find this a little bit easier. Whenever I'm trading futures with a stablecoin, I like to have my amount box toggled to USDT. But certainly choose your preference. To execute a market order, just simply choose the amount you wish to execute, and if you're betting on the price to go down, you'd click on open short, and if you're betting on the price to go up, you'd click on open long. You can come to the amount box right here, type in a custom amount that you wish to enter into the trade, and you'll be able to see your available balance right here. So you'll know exactly what you're working with. So in my situation here, I can come up to amount and I could go 20 tether. Now you'll notice down here under margin that I'm only going to need 9.41 tether as collateral to open a position size of 20 tether. And that's because I'm set to 2x leverage up top here. If I was to click on this 2x and adjust the leverage, let's go up to 5x and click on confirm. Now you'll notice down here under margin that I'm only going to need 3.77 tether to open a position size of 20 tether. And that's because I just changed this to 5x leverage. So as you can see, leverage certainly can maximize your gains, but it can also free up the remainder of your capital to be deployed into other positions. Just always remember that leverage can also maximize your losses or get you completely liquidated. So always stay within your risk tolerance. Another tip when it comes to selecting leverage is the higher your leverage, the closer your liquidation price is going to be to your order price. More on that shortly. Once you have the order set up the way that you want it, you just simply come down, click on open long if you're betting on the price to go up, or click on open short if you're betting on the price to go down. I'll go ahead and open a long position. Then you'll get an order confirmation pop-up window where you can confirm the details of your trade. So you can see right here under amount that I'll be opening a position size of 18.78 tether. And you can see right here in margin that I'll only be putting in 3.77 tether as collateral to have a position size of 1878 USD. And that's because this trade is on 5x leverage. If everything in here is what you intended, you'd come down here and click on confirm. Now, as you can see, I just executed that market order at the best available price from the order book. Now I can find the details of that order if I come right down here to open positions and give that a click. And here's where we'll find the detail of your open position. You'll be able to see your average entry price right here. So in my case, I entered at 1,879. You can see that I'm on 5x leverage in this particular situation. And you can see right here a liquidation price of 1,511. So if the price of Ethereum came down to 1,511, this position would be completely liquidated. And I would lose my margin, so 3.75 tether. This is my collateral for this position. and I'd lose all of that if the price of Ethereum came down to 1,511. Remember, the higher amount of leverage that you use, the closer this liquidation price is going to be to your entry price. I'll quickly close this position out and I'll open it with higher leverage to give you a visual of this. So I'm just going to come over here. I'm going to click on market close, confirm. Now what I'll do is I'll adjust my leverage. Let's go up to say 10x leverage. I'll click on confirm. Now I'll open up that same position, open long, confirm. Now you can see that my average entry price is 1,879 and my liquidation price is now 1,700. So by bringing my leverage up to 10x, you can see it made a major difference. The liquidation price is now much closer to my entry price right here. So always keep that in mind when selecting the amount of leverage that you wish to use. When you're ready to close your position, you can do so manually by coming over here. You can choose a price point in this box right here. So if you wanted to, we could put 2,000 in there. Then we could click on close. Then you'll get an order confirmation window here to close this position if the price of Ethereum comes up to 2,000 USDT. And right here, we can see the amount of the position we'll be closing. So in my case, I'd be closing the whole position. Then you'd simply click on confirm. Now that order has been placed, but it won't fill until the price of Ethereum reaches 2,000. And you can find this open order if you come right over here and click on open orders. And here's where we can see the details of that order. We can see that we want to close the long for our entire position size here at the order price of 2,000. And if we come over here to status, we can see that this order is uncompleted. And that's because the price of Ethereum hasn't reached 2,000. If we want to cancel this, we come over here and click on cancel. Then click on confirm. Now we've removed that order. If we want to close this position as a market order, we'd come over here and click on positions. Then we'd come over here and we would click on market close. This is going to close the position immediately at the best available price from the order book. The other option is to reverse your position by clicking on reverse. What this is going to do is close your current position and open you immediately in the other direction with the same position size. So in my situation here, I'd be closing my long and immediately be opening short with the same position size. For this demonstration, I'll just go ahead and market close this. Then click on confirm. And as you can see, I just closed that position at the best available price from the order book. Now I'll show you how you can set a take profit and a stop loss while opening a market position. So let's head back up here to the order panel, and this time I'll open a short position. And I'll just use the same amount of tether here. Alternatively, you can use the slider bar. If I was to slide this up, say to 50% like so, this means I'd be putting 50% of my available balance into this position. If I slid this up to 100%, that means I'd be putting in my entire account balance into this position. But for this demonstration, I'll go ahead and just keep this at 20 tether. Now, before I click on open short to open this position, I'm going to check this box right here, stop limit short. And in this panel here, we can put in a take profit target in this box and a stop loss down in this box here. So let's quickly head over here to the chart. And let's just imagine that we're targeting somewhere down around this price action here as our take profit level. What I'll do is I'll grab a horizontal here and I'll go ahead and just mark that out, maybe something like this. Now we can see a price point on the y-axis of the chart coming in at 1,684. Let's type that price into our take profit. So we'll come down here to this box and we'll type that in. So 1,684. Now let's set a stop loss. We'll come back up here to the chart, and just for the purposes of demonstration, let's imagine that we want to set our stop loss somewhere just above these candles right here. So I'll go ahead and grab a horizontal here, and I'll mark something out just above this candle, maybe something like this. Good enough for this demonstration. Now we can see a price point on the y-axis of the chart coming in at 2,028. So we'll come down here to the stop loss box and we'll type that in, 2,028. Once you have this set up the way that you want it, we just scroll down a little bit, then we click on open short. Then we'll get our order confirmation pop-up window where we can confirm the details of our order. We can see our order size right here. We can see how much collateral we're putting into this position right here. But now we can see that we have a take profit that's going to be set immediately at 1,684. And we can see that we have a stop loss that's going to be set at 2,028. If this is what you intended, you just simply click on confirm. Now we've executed that short position immediately at the best available price from the order book. And we also added our take profit and stop loss. And we can find those if we come right down here, click on open orders next to positions. Then click right here on Stop Limit. And here's where we can find the details of our take profit and stop loss. We can see our order type right here is a TPSL, so take profit stop loss. We can see our take profit trigger price right here, 1,684. So if the price of Ethereum decreases to 1,684, we'll be closing this short position in a profit. And we can see our stop loss trigger price right over here at 2,028. So if the price of Ethereum goes against us and reaches 2,028, this position will be closed in a loss. If at any point you want to cancel these, you just come over here under Action and click on Cancel. Then click on Confirm. And as you can see, I just removed that take profit and stop loss. But our position is still open. So if we come over here and click on Open Positions, we can see that we still have an open position here. We can also add a take profit and a stop loss to a position that's already open by simply coming right over here and under TPSL, just click on this little pencil icon. Then you'll get a pop-up window here where you can put in your take profit and stop loss. So for fun, for targeting 16,000 to the downside, we type that in there. And then for a stop loss, let's just imagine that we want to set our stop loss at 1,900. Then we'd click on Confirm. Now we've added a take profit and stop loss, and we can see that right under TPSL. If the price of Ethereum comes down to 1,600, this short position will be closed in a profit. But if Ethereum continues to the upside, reaching 1,900, this position will be closed in a loss. And of course, if we just want to close this position manually, we'd come over here and use one of these options. I'll just go ahead and market close it. Confirm. And as you can see, I just closed that position. It also removed the take profit and stop loss at the same time. If you want to add a take profit and stop loss when opening a long position, you'd follow the same steps, except you'd come up here and you'd click on Stop Limit Long. Then you put in your take profit level here and your stop loss here for your long position. Then once you have everything set up, you'd click on Open Long. Now I'll demonstrate how to place a limit order. So the first thing we need to do is come to our order panel and click on Limit. A limit order will allow you to be a little bit more strategic by choosing a price point that you wish to open a long position or a price point that you wish to open a short position. You can also save on fees by using a limit order because you're placing these orders onto the order book for all to see. So in other words, you're a market maker. You're providing liquidity to the order book. And as I mentioned before, exchanges like to try to incentivize traders to provide liquidity to their order book, and they usually do this by charging a smaller fee on limit orders. The majority of limit orders will be filled as maker orders, but sometimes they can be partially filled as a taker order or filled as a taker order entirely. And that can potentially happen if you're setting your limit price too close to the mid price on the order book, so too close to the price that the asset's currently trading at. But the majority of your limit orders will be filled as a maker order. If you want to make sure that all your limit orders execute as a maker order, you can come over here in the order panel and select Post Only. These are limit orders that will only execute as maker orders. If the order can't be filled as a maker order, Lbank will cancel the order and you won't be opening a position. So if you want to make sure that your limit orders get executed as maker orders only, just use the post only option over here. And this is typically the option that I'll use. So now that the order panel is configured for post only limit orders, we need to choose a price point that we wish to either go long or go short. So let's head over here to the chart. And let's imagine that I want to place an order to go long if the price of Ethereum comes down to this horizontal right here. We can see a price point on the y-axis of the chart correlating to that horizontal coming in at 1,684. So let's come over here to the order panel and we'll type that into price, 1,684. Now we need to choose the size of our order, and I'll just go ahead and do 20 tether. Once you have this set up the way that you want it, you'd come down here and click on Open Long. Then you'll get your order confirmation pop-up window confirming the details of your order. You can see right here under price that I'll be placing an order to go long at 1,684 as intended. We can see the amount, the size of the position will be 18.52 tether, and we can see that the collateral I'll be using of my own tether will be 9.27 if this order fills. If it's what you intended, come down here and click on Confirm. Now we've placed that order to go long onto the order book at the price point of 1,684. So if Ethereum was to work its way down to 1,684, our order is going to fill and will be entered into a small long position. We can find the details of our open order if we come down here and click on Open Orders next to Positions. And here's where you'll find the details of your open order. If at any point you want to cancel your limit order, you just come over here on the right hand side, underneath Action, click on Cancel. Then click on Confirm. And as you can see, I just removed that order to go long off of the order book. You can also place orders to go short onto the order book as well. And I'll quickly demonstrate how to do that, and I'll show you how you can add a stop loss as well as a take profit when placing this order. So let's come back up here to the chart, and let's just imagine that we want to place an order to go short if the price of Ethereum comes up to this horizontal right here. Of course, we can see a price point on the y-axis of the chart coming in at 2028. So let's come over here to the order panel, and we'll type that into price. We'll go 2028. And I'll go ahead and just do the same amount again. I'll do 20 tether. And this time I'm going to come down here and click on Stop Limit Short. And here's where we can add our take profit as well as our stop loss if this order was to fill. So just for fun, let's imagine that we're going to be targeting 1,684. And let's set our stop loss at 2,055. Once you have this configured the way that you want it, you come down here, click on Open Short. Now you'll get your order confirmation pop-up window where you can confirm the details. And down here, we can see that if this position fills, a take profit will be added at 1,684 and a stop loss will be added at 2,055. Of course, these won't be added until this position fills. So if everything here is what you intended, you'd click on Confirm. Now we've placed that order to go short onto the order book at the price point of 2028. So if the price of Ethereum was to work its way up and hit our price point to open our short, our order is going to fill, and a take profit is going to be added down here at 1,684, and a stop loss will be added just up above at 2,055. You can find the details of the order if you come down here to Open Orders, click on Limit, and here's where you'll find the details of your short order. And you can see right here under TPSL, the take profit and stop loss that will be added if this position gets filled. If at any point you want to cancel this, you just come over here, click on Cancel under Action, then click on Confirm. And I've removed that limit order off of the order book. As simple as that. So as you can see, a limit order can give you the ability to be a little bit more strategic by choosing price points to open your long positions or open your short positions. But you do need price action to cooperate. For example, in our long scenario, maybe price action just continues to the upside from here. Maybe it doesn't retrace down to our order, and maybe our order never fills and we miss out on the trade. Or maybe price action rolls over from here, comes down, fills our limit order to go long, but then price action just continues to the downside, putting us at a loss. In our short scenario, maybe price action comes up but doesn't quite reach our price point to go short and just rolls over somewhere down here. Of course, we'd miss this trade because price action didn't reach our order price and our order never filled. Or perhaps price action comes up, fills our order to go short, but then just melts right through this price level and puts us at a loss. And that's why adding a stop loss can be a good idea. So a couple basic considerations when choosing if a limit order is going to be appropriate for your particular trade idea. But that's how you can place a limit order. To find the trading fees, just come up here at the top left-hand side of the screen and click on the Lbank logo. This will bring you back to the home page. From here, scroll down to the bottom, and right here under Support, you'll find Fee Rate right here. Give that a click, and here's where you'll find the trading fees. So right down here under Futures Trading Rate, you can see that the current maker fee is 0.02% at the time of recording. That's if you're going to be using limit orders. And then over here, you can see that the current taker fee is 0.06%. That's if you're going to be executing market orders or getting forced into liquidations. Now it's worthwhile to come on over here and check out what the fees are at. They could be different from when I made this video. And there you have it, your introduction to trading futures on the Lbank exchange. If you got some value out of this, don't forget to leave me a like and hit subscribe. Also feel free to check out some of my other Lbank tutorials, which I've put together in a playlist on my YouTube channel. Thanks so much for coming by and checking out this video. Looking forward to seeing you in the next one. And until I do, have yourself a powerful day.